Business with me, Alec Drew, on Dublin City FM 103.2. Each week we have an expert from the world of business sharing their knowledge, insights and tips to help you reduce costs, increase profits and drive efficiencies. If there's a topic that you would like covered, or if you feel you could make a contribution, please email me at yourbusiness@dublincityfm.ie, and perhaps we will be chatting here one day soon. Today's guest is an international speaker and author, is co-founder of Ladies Go Live, and is relaunching her Irish best-selling book, Confidence on Camera. I'm delighted to welcome Lottie Hearn to the You and Your Business studio. Hiya, Lottie.
Hey, Alec, thanks for having me in.
My perception is that video is becoming more and more important in the world of communications and business. What's your sort of reaction to that?
It always makes me laugh because in the live stream world that I'm part of, as well as Confidence on Camera coaching business people around the world, video is at the stage that if you ain't using video as part of your marketing tool in 2019, you've almost already missed the boat.
Wow, is it?
Yeah.
No, wow, is it caught up in people that much?
It has. It's Alec, think of it that it must be part of your overall marketing plan. Like you mentioned in your introduction there, you're thinking about reducing costs and driving efficiencies.
Sure.
Videos is the communication tool where you can actually connect when you do it through a camera well and have live conversations. You can use it for customer service, sales calls. More and more companies I was working with last year around Europe are actually doing that with their customer service teams. So it's the conversations, but then it's also using the tools to project you, your brand, your business. But what people don't get is the slight difference from being on stage or being in a meeting and doing that, and shifting how you do it onto the screen.
Right. Tell me a bit about the sort of video versus live stream. What is the nuance of that? Because a live stream, I know you're sort of well involved in that one and an expert. Tell me a bit about those.
Well, I suppose what people get confused about, right, there's so much live streaming. If like Facebook has taken over massively with Facebook Live. We're waiting still, LinkedIn, please, anybody from LinkedIn, we want LinkedIn Live for business people, please. It's really that there's two different ways of looking at it with a business head. A lot of people think that live stream is simply a way to chat and have conversations. We've had Skype for years. We've had FaceTime for a long, long time on phones. But when you're thinking with a business head on, you need to think of this is a way that you're having a telephone conversation. Even if you're pre-recording, and I call it live style presenting. So I know we're going to get into the how-tos, but I always like to kick off with tips for people right from the word go. So the main thing is that video is what we call, it's when you pre-record something. But even when you're pre-recording, you need to be presenting with a mindset that this is still a conversation. So video is really using a camera, a phone, whatever tools you use to do it. It may be in a studio, it might be video on the go, it may be out and about, it may be in meetings, it may be webinars, it may be recording training videos. Whatever you're using it for, that's the pre-record I talk of as video.
Right.
Live is when you are literally recording something live as a live stream. And just because there's been live stream, live podcast, live this, live, we just call it live now in the live world.
Wow, and I suppose that really calls upon people to develop some sort of skill sets, because throwing a camera in front of most people, they just freeze.
I on a regular basis video bomb people out and about at events, and it's funny actually. My new business coach for this year was actually saying to me, Lottie, people know you as the camera lady, the camera girl. She's always video bombing people. She's always putting cameras in people's faces. But actually, why I'm back, because I've spent the last 18 months really working with Ladies Go Live and helping women who help women around the world, and the men who support us, Alec.
Thank you very much.
Not just for the ladies, we are multi-purpose. Because I've been focusing on that, I've now decided this year to kind of come back to Ireland more and get off being online and my face out around the world and speaking out around the world, and actually focus back, because I'm noticing that a lot of, especially the corporate style videos, they are still very static, can often be very staid. And I read about a company's branding, and then I see a leader within that company stepping up on camera, and it's just, or it's painful to watch. And that is the key thing people need to learn, that even though there is a mean machine in front of your face and you're staring at an inanimate object, you have to bring the energy as if it's a live person, like we do with radio, that somebody's there listening, interacting, connecting, being engaged with the content and the key messages we're there to share.
So quite obviously, for a lot of sort of business leaders and that they haven't had this challenge before. So really what you're saying is this is a challenge you better be prepared to step up to.
Yeah, I think a lot of business leaders in this day and age, really, they've probably been using webinars, video conferencing for a long time. And I worked back in marketing in Coca-Cola back in the 2000 and 2000s up until 2010. That's actually when I shifted out and went on my own with the marketing and knowledge and skills that I've had up till then.
Sure.
And then created the Confidence on Camera brand within my business. So that's been around, and Skype calls, as I said, have been around for many years. But really now it's how we use this to truly connect. Right. To our viewers. It's not like when you speak on a stage. It's not an audience that you can see their reactions, that you can shift your speaking. You have to envisage that in your own brain and have that lifestyle presenter mindset. So talking through the machines is a different skill to being out there big on a beautiful glorious stage or a meeting room, whatever it is, because so many CEOs and leaders have to be the face of their business, and they get thrown in it. And even CEOs can get a little bit scared of being on camera sometimes. It's very normal, folks.
Yeah, to be quite honest, from a lot of the people I've seen, they're not comfortable in either of those scenarios. So there's obviously a skill set. But why are business people reluctant to sort of invest in the training around this?
I think it still comes back, like research that I've been doing since the 1990s on this, when I first trained TV presenters back in Australia after my acting days and my own TV days in Hong Kong. Globe-trotting around the world. It's wonderful when you're young. The same research comes back. The top 3 things people are always worried about is, I don't know where to start, it's going to be too expensive, and me on camera. And it's that it comes down to that personal emotional reaction and fear. We've probably all heard, I know, Alec, you've heard the acronym before, the fear as a fictional evidence appearing real.
All right.
So in my book, I talk about confidence is let's con the fictional evidence appearing real. So if fear comes from in your own brain and your own mindset, you can flip that switch to build in the confidence. Con your own brain that you are talking to a real person. There is somebody there, but they're actually on the other side of the camera, being that favourite person that anytime, whether you're a team, part of a team, a leader, or whether you are a CEO or a business owner, who's that one person that anytime you tell them your new, fantastic, passionate, amazing idea, that they just go, oh, wow, really? Tell me more. Oh my God, that's tragic. Oh no. Yay, that sounds so exciting. Go on, let me know. Who's, whatever mood it is that you're wanting to portray with that message, whether you're fundraising for a passion project, whether you are wanting to really get people excited and entice people to get on board with the message you've got for your business for 2019, you need to bring that different energy and be able to flip, chop and change in the moment as you would do as if you were having a coffee or a lovely glass of wine or a beer with your mates after work as well. It has to have that energy. And because the machines steal 30% of our energy, it's 2D. In real life, we're 3D. We need to learn to boost that energy, that extra 30%.
Wow. If you're joining us, you're listening to me, Alec Drew, on Dublin City 103.2 FM, where my studio guest is Lottie Hearn. And we're talking about the world of confidence on camera. My goodness, Lottie, you're taking me through acting lessons and everything here. Anybody who's listening would think there's about 3 different Lotties in the studio here at the one time. It's fascinating, but what you're talking about too is being authentic and also being, I'm searching for the word now, you'll probably hit it for me, where you reflect the mood that you're in and what you're trying to say reflects that. But tell me more. So we nearly have to be different people depending on the message we're getting out there. We have to step into a persona.
Yeah, it is stepping into a persona, Alec, but at the same time, I call it finding your emotional connection.
Right.
It's actually, it needs to be real. I've used this on camera and on radio many, many times, but if you say to somebody, I'm really excited to be here.
Yeah,
no, I'm really excited to be here. No, Alec, I'm really, really excited to be here. It's all about how we match the visual impact. I call them the 3 Vs. The visual impact, what we see, with the vocal impact, how we use our voice, so what your viewer hears, and the verbal impact, so visual, vocal, verbal, and verbal impact are the words you choose to use. Now, people may have been through presentation training for stage and heard the old Morabian, it's only 7% of the message. No, that's actually not true. That's a misrepresentation of what that study was back in the 20th century. What century in? 20th century, 1950 something or other. It's all about how you bring it together. It's the congruency.
That's the word. There's the word I was looking for.
Congruency. And what congruency means is every message is important. Every speaker who is asked to speak, whether it be on stage or screen, even if you're feeling nervous, even if you're feeling tense about it, turn that energy, that nervous energy, into energizing energy anytime you step up in front of the microphone, on a stage, in front of a camera. Because using that and really letting your knowledge and expertise, you've only been asked because you're the expert in your field. You wouldn't have been picked to be the speaker for this. You wouldn't be the CEO or leader unless you were the leader that your company, brand and business expects you to be. So you have many different sides to you. Never try to be like somebody else.
Right.
Watch, observe, listen, learn. Pick the best, leave the rest. What suits you? And the biggest message, if I can leave anybody here today, is that, and it's the core focus for coming back to Ireland this year, is you need to bring the best you to screen every time, because people are out there bothering to press play, press pause, press stop. It's their choice if they want to watch you. So help them to know, like, trust that old trio, but also with live stream especially, and on camera anytime, video pre-record too, know, like, trust, and care about you and the message you're bringing through.
Right.
Because it all has to fit together.
So this is where sort of being authentic comes back into the whole conversation, and of course certainly it's been around for the last couple of years. It has been very, very important. You identified the 3 Vs there: visual, vocal and verbal. Mm-hmm. There's a skill set around each one of those.
Yeah.
How do you approach each of these? Let's talk about the visual. Are there any sort of tips you'd like to say to people about the visual side of this?
Well, I suppose that I always start in the book, it starts with the visual impact, because video, live stream, TV screens, it's a visual medium. Main thing you need to think about is what works for you when you need to watch yourself, folks. Everybody hates listening to themselves back, but you need to watch yourself or you can't see what your habits are, both really great habits and the things that might distract an audience.
Yeah.
What are those habits? But what I always want people to do is, Alec, if you see yourself back, would you jump on what you don't like first or what you liked first?
Oh, I think we'd all jump on what we don't like first.
Exactly. So when I work with people, it's always, let's find the things that you like about you first. And if you are not allowed in training to open your mouth and tell me, no, it's what worked.
Right.
What was good? whether it is about how you look, how you sound, or what you actually say. Most people always leap to what they say, but this is a visual medium. So remember, it's all about what works, what looks nice, and then take away the distractions.
Yeah, all right. My goodness, our sound engineer's nearly gone ballistic there with those distractions.
It's doing it on purpose, isn't it?
I know you did. Let's just talk about vocal as well. That's another skill set, about developing that. And certainly what we're really suggesting here is that people need to make an investment. I don't believe it's overly, heavy in type of investment to make to bring yourself up to a level of speaking, say.
Yeah, I think as business leaders and CEOs, you need to think what investment have you put time, money, energy into learning to be a great presenter on stage. Many people have gone through, businesses pay for stage. I used to do myself presenting with Impact back in 2001 in Australia. I had many business leaders, heads of organisations and corporations that I used to work with. But people think that, if you can do that, you can get on camera. It is a clearly different skill set because you have to then bring everything down. Think of the size of a screen when you're on screen. And actually, going back quickly to the visual, please, in offices, men especially, please stop looking down to your cameras. Raise up your camera so that you're actually looking up. Get rid of the double chin. Let the energy come up and out of you. And stop wasting a foot of space above your head. Look at how people are set up on camera on the news. When it's chest upwards, you only just see the top of the head to the middle of the chest or stomach on screen. So that's called your frame. That. And then linking that to the vocal tips. 3 things I'd say to people is have water with you. Keep yourself hydrated because your mouth needs to be moist to be able to work properly. So therefore, warm your voice up before you go on stage or on screen. Anytime you need to speak. 2 quick exercises. One just goes and then stretch. I call it the kiss and grin from old Morafay Australia coaching. I picked this tip up from those experts there, where you grin really, really wide and you go, hee, and then you go, Alex looking at me doing this and thinking it's very strange.
No, I'm just trying not to be taken away in a straitjacket somewhere.
And then the last one on that, Alex, is humming. And to get vocal variety is interest for listeners and for viewers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Remind your brain that your voice needs to work for you and bring the interest for people.
If you're just joining us on and listening to me on Dublin City FM 103.2, my studio guest is Lottie Hearn. We're talking about confidence timbre, and we've just gone through some vocal exercises. So just in case you came in and there's some strange sounds there, that's exactly what we're doing. But it's very, very important. And like all of these things, it's a skill set. And I suppose what you've addressed is something that people tend to forget, that in the course of their natural lives, when they're meeting friends in a sort of social situation, they have that sort of tonal variation, which they tend to forget. That, as you said, the machinery in front of them seems to suck all of that out of them. Yeah. So I suppose that it's very important you get somebody to coach you around these particular skill sets. In relation to your own business, Lottie, if people wanted to contact you, what's your web address?
Well, the first place people can find me is confidenceon.camera. Not confidenceoncamera.com. That's actually a Canadian acting troupe, I think. All right. But it's confidenceon.camera. I'm regularly live on Facebook at Lottie Hearn TV. I actually do a free weekly show, and I get guests. And actually, Alec, I need to get you on there, I think, sometime soon with your knowledge and skills. But it's always related back to Confidence on Camera and demonstrating how different professional speakers from around the world, because it's a live show, I can connect with people from Singapore and Australia through to here to America and Hawaii even, and Ladies Go Live is there as well. So that's kind of like the live stream examples. And what you'll see there is that everybody brings their own style. just because you see a presenter presenting a business show this way and being terribly serious business does not mean we have to always be so serious. So biggest thing with this, my business when I first started back in Ireland was called Press Play Presentations, for a reason, because I want to get people to remind them that they are allowed to play. When business is fun, people have fun watching you. So bring that playfulness to screen. Let it be seen, please.
I suppose that when people see the colour of somebody in front of a camera, it does sort of reassure them that they are real people and you know, they're passionate. You mentioned something at the beginning of this, and I know you're involved in this. You talked about video bombing. Tell our audience a bit about this, just in case they become the victims of one of these video bombs.
Just in case you get video bombed at some point. I started doing that. It's like my stream team global. It's basically at live events. That's part of the business of what I do for some of my clients. Is I actually go to live events, and because people want the live stream interaction, maybe people couldn't come to an event, something like the All Ireland Business Summit. For the last few years, I've been there with the team there behind the scenes. But it's great because you know what? If you've ever been to an event where you go, oh, I'd love to have a chat with that speaker, there's nothing quite like turning up with a bright orange video stand and my monopod, everything branded in orange, so I am the flash of orange. If you see orange, that's probably me. Either run away or run towards me, please. So it's being able to connect, communicate, share that live energy with people who couldn't be there at the event. And then what the client gets is those videos to reuse and market for next year. And I can go live to their Facebook pages or their whatever pages they want to go live to.
I mean, that's fantastic, because also you're picking up testimonials from people there, and they're video testimonials, which are, and because they're off the cuff, they're perfect, because then they're true rather than being made up. Also, as you said, you're talking to people who are at a particular event, and so you're getting their initial reaction straight, or immediate reaction after something. And if they're full of enthusiasm, obviously we won't put out the negative ones, but it's a great way of promoting yourself.
Well, Alec, it's funny because you're saying that we won't put out the negative ones. That's the joy with live stream, is I want people to get over the fact, people think, oh, once it's up there for all eternity. No, it's not. You can always take it down. But actually what you can track is your path and your journey of your first few videos or lives, and go, actually, you know what, with a little bit of help, with the tips, whether all the budget you have is to buy the book, or you can catch, as I said, there's so much that I put out there for free because there is so much help around the world. What I bring when I work with people is I niche it then to you. I'm one of the few people who is a presenter trainer who niches specifically just on confidence on camera, because I've been doing this for years and years and years, and I know how important, as I said, started this 2010, 2011, been planning the book for years, wrote that first version in 2015, and finishing off for the relaunch of it this year. It's
fantastic, and as you said, a bright splash of orange. Certainly you live up to your branding, because I'm seeing an orange bag, I'm seeing an orange outfit. My God, it's like being in Holland here at the moment, you know. But I'm a great believer in branding. I had somebody in with me just recently there talking about branding and the importance, and certainly you live up to the brand. The book for anybody out there is called Confidence on Camera, 7 Steps to Present Your Power on Any Size Screen, and the author is Lottie Hearn, whom I'm speaking to here in the studio. Any tips you'd like to share in the last couple of minutes of the show that you think might be valuable to our listeners? They know where to get the information from yourself, but maybe just some tips they can take away and think about. Yeah,
I think because we didn't touch on it, but it's as I said, the place that people always go to is the verbal impact, what you actually choose to say. If I could say anything to business people, I know, having worked at Coca-Cola for numerous years with 13 glorious marketing babies, and working with them, helping them do video conference training and all of that side of things as well, please stop planning everything you want to say. If you script every word, it's going to look like you've scripted every word, and your brain is going to be so caught up in desperately trying to remember. But the great thing is, if you pre-record Alec, if you pre-recorded and you missed one point, what would you do?
I suppose it depends on how valuable that point is. I'll probably do it again.
Yeah, exactly. That's the joy with pre-recording. You can either record another video, if you look back over what you've seen and go, actually, you know what, that's so great. Oh, that number one tip there, why don't I just do another quick video and I can add that on as a separate message? Or if you're creating a video training series, for example, that can be the core of the next message. Please stop scripting. You need to bring that live style conversation and chat through the camera lens. Stop trying to remember everything. Plan, yes, but plan in one hand, a 5-step process. Set it up with the whys. All people want to know is why, what, how, why, what, how, what, how, why. But it's why. So set it up, then link in the pains. What are people suffering that leads you to be doing this video today? Then link in the stories. What are the examples? Where's the bit of fun, a bit of joy that you can bring? Then come into the solutions that you're offering. And the final part is have your close answering a question maybe you set up at the beginning of it and bringing in your call to action. Because ultimately, it may be for the viewer. It is for the viewer once you step up on screen, but you want to be seen because you have something you want people to do as a result of watching you. So stop worrying about that the whole way through. Bring it as your call to action at the end. But when you're doing it, please share and care. Stop telling and selling. Start sharing and caring. Serve, share and shine, as Tina at Ladies Go Live always
My goodness, you've crammed in a lot there. And I suppose as we come into the last minute of the show, I suppose it's fair to say that people tend to forget that they are experts in their own area. So they do know the information that they have to give out.
Yeah.
So as you said, don't be scripting everything out, because now you're fighting with yourself trying to remember things.
It's your knowledge and skills. You are the expert, the niche expert in your field. I've spoken about the 3 V's. The other main thing to think about is the 3 C's then. Your own confidence, your own credibility, your own charisma. Everybody has charisma because everybody has at least one friend or somebody who quite likes them. Find that person who will be your biggest supporter and ask them what they love about seeing you on screen.
Wow, that's a great final tip for us here today from Lottie Hearn. We're talking about confidence on camera. Okay, that's all we've got time for today. A special thanks to our guest Lottie Hearn for coming into the You and Your Business studio. Thanks also to Darren on sound. Don't forget that you can contact the show by emailing yourbusiness@dublincityfm.ie with your comments and suggestions. The podcast of today's show will be available on dublincityfm.ie. Thank you for your company, and please remember to join me, Alec Drew, again next week at the same time, 12:30, right here on 103.2 Dublin City FM for another edition of You and Your Business.